Get your plant and garden questions answered.
Lisa Briggs from the Roost Company is standing by to take your call. The number, take your calls. The number to call is 270-9933. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, back at the greenhouse.
Hey.
Hooray.
Yay.
I know. First time since November.
Oh, we got plenty of calls as usual. So let's start with Joan in New Glarus. Hi, Joan.
Hi. I have a question. I have lots of weeds and grass and twitch and creeping Charlie in my asparagus bed. How do I get rid of that without damaging the asparagus?
Well, the grass part is easy because you can use a herbicide that's selective for grasses only. So you'd spray the bed and it will kill grasses, but not anything that's broadleaf. The broadleaf things are a little more difficult because broadleaf herbicides are not they are not selective. They will kill anything with broadleaves. So what you're going to have to do is, if you want to spray it, you can use like a baffle, like a piece of cardboard or something, to keep it from drifting onto your asparagus. Or you can pour a little bit of the herbicide into a cup and use one of those sponge brushes, and then you can brush it right on the foliage of the weeds so that it won't go to your asparagus. Otherwise, you're going to just dig them out.
Okay. All right, let's go to Louise in Monroe. Hi, Louise. What's your question?
Okay, my question is regarding raspberry bushes. I have raspberries that will produce, if I'm lucky, from about the 4th of July all the way to frost. And the bushes now are getting quite tall, and I wondered how far down I could quickly cut them back now before too long, because they have taken off fast now. There's some last year's growth still on there. So I wonder.
So anything that's left from last year, go ahead and prune that out and let the new canes come up, because what you have are fall bearing or ever bearing berries, and they start fruiting, like you said, around the end part of the summer, late July, and then they go to frost, and then they'll start back up again in the summer, but that crop is sort of small and mingy. So what you want to do, best case scenario, is that you cut it back to the ground after the frost or before the new canes come up. Since you've missed that window, just go ahead with some pruners and take out anything that's old and woody, and all those new tender ones that are small and coming up from the ground. Those are what are going to produce the best crop for you this year.
All right. Diane in Middleton. Hi, Diane. What's your question? Diane, you there?
Yes, hello.
Hi, what's your question?
Hi. We have a pine tree in our yard that's about waist high, and the deer have rutted on it and killed the top of it, but the bottom of it is still green and growing. Do we cut the dead branches off the top of the tree?
Yeah, if you don't have any buds left on there and all the needles are brown, then go ahead and clip out what's brown. You should be seeing new growth on it by now. And then you might just have something a little creative and do a little bit of bonsai with it. And then you just you can always take a side branch that's flexible and maybe try to train a new leader.
All right, Linda in Cross Plains is next. Hi, Linda. What's your question?
Hello. My question is, I have a block patio, and it's on the north side of my house, and I have moss growing between all the blocks. What can I use to get rid of the moss?
There is a mossicide that's suitable for using on surfaces. So it's not something that you want to use if you have moss in your garden or moss in your lawn, but on surfaces like patios or sides of walls or fences or rocks, it works really well. So it will kill the moss, and then you can remove it. But it's there because you have conditions that are right for it. So it's a little wet, it's a little cool, there's not a lot of air circulation. It's probably going to be a situation that you're going to have to continue to deal with unless you want to lift the patio up and improve the drainage underneath by adding some sand. But you can use a mossicide on it without harming your actual patio.
All right. Beth in Sun Prairie. Hi, Beth. What's your question? Beth, you there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have year after year planted the perennial called Coreopsis. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's also called tickweed. It's a bright flowering yellow plant, and it's supposed to be a perennial. However, every year at this time it should be flowering, and I just have a few little green leaves coming out of the ground, and I don't understand why it keeps dying back or not coming back. What am I doing wrong?
So Coreopsis, or tick seed, as it's called, is a perennial that dies back to the ground every year. So you wouldn't have anything woody that would be left over from year to year. It would come back from the ground, and usually we see Coreopsis blooming here around the end of June. This year's been a little weird with the temperature swings. If it's not putting on size, then you want to check and make sure that it's getting enough sun. Coreopsis needs full sun, so 6 to 8 hours. It also appreciates good drainage. It's a plant that you often will see in rock gardens or berms. And then if that's not the case, then I would add some like flower tone, some kind of slow release fertilizer that's not heavy in nitrogen, and see if you can get it a little bit perked up and a little bit beefier.
All right, things are growing, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Lisa, it's so good to see you back in your beautiful office.
Thank you.
I'll have to come and visit. I need some stuff, so. Thanks for calling in,
we're
everybody.
here for you.
What's that?
I said we're here for you.
Okay, I'll be there. Thanks for calling in. We'll do this again soon, and we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.